Who am I? I was born and raised here in New Orleans, and I'm a nurse. I taught critical care nursing for 40 years, and I also worked critical care. My philosophy was always, don't get sick. And if you get sick, take your lumps. But I didn't realize that was coming to me, a lump. I was 69 at the time that I felt it, and it was starting to grow fast, and then the skin started discoloring, and visually every day the skin changed. The redness got bigger and bigger. I said, I have to tell my son. I ended up telling him on his way to work one day, Johnny, I have a lump in my breast. He said, you need to see Dr. Colfrey. And so I saw Dr. Colfrey the very next day, and he took one look, and he made it a preliminary or a diagnosis of inflammatory breast cancer, and it's very aggressive. And so that day, after he saw me, he called the imaging center and said she needs to be scanned today and a biopsy. And then it just rolled from there. My energy was starting to wane, and at the thought of having to call all these doctors' offices and explain who I was, it just left me energyless. But when I saw Dr. Colfrey, they did all that. He lined up Dr. Zachariah, he lined up Dr. Zachris, Dr. Latour. I mean, everything was lined up. And then through the patient portal, I could see what was up next. I mean, it was just seamless. I had 6 months of chemo. Within the first 2 treatments, that tumor started shrinking. And within a month, it was gone. You couldn't feel it anymore. And it had been as big as an egg. Early January, I had a scan at the imaging center, and then I was going to see Dr. Colfrey. The day that I was going to see him for the results, I get a phone call from his office. They said, can you come in early, 15 minutes early? And I really panicked, and I said, oh, that's either really good news or bad news. So I go to his office, and he called me in there because the imagery was amazing, because it was right after Christmas. And he goes, this is like a Christmas tree. Your imagery before, it was so lit up, and you could see the big old solid tumor. And he goes, it's all gone. The lights are out. That's one of the images I will carry for the rest of my life. It's a big institution, LCMC, but Touro operates like a small hospital. It's like a family, and I feel like Touro is my home. I feel like I'm a survivor, and I feel like God has a plan for me. That there's something I need to be doing.